Thank you so much. And good morning to everybody. I'm David Machan from District 4170 Heart2Heart team, and I will be one of your hosts today. Today we have the annual pilgrim to Mexico of our friends from Heart2Heart US. This year, to the pandemic, we welcome to Mexico all of you online in this virtual meeting. Thank you all for coming. We have a great show prepared for you today. So let's have some fun. Please, Governor Jesus, can you be so kind of give the official inauguration with the ring of the bell? Your microphone, please.
Muchísimas gracias, David. Iniciaremos tocando la campana para dar inicio a este evento.
Thank you so much, Governor.
Sean todos bienvenidos a esta feria.
You're gonna have a Heather is going to present you, Governor, please.
Perdón.
Give us a moment.
And, perdón. Sean todos bienvenidos.
So be all welcome.
Mr. Governor, Heather is going to present you.
Good morning, Rotarians and guests. Good morning.
Let me introduce you, Heather. It's a pleasure to me to present you, host from the District 6490, and our friend, the Governor-elect, Heather Stoa. Thank you, Heather.
Good morning. Thank you. Good morning to everyone. Welcome to our first virtual Heart2Heart fair, and glad to have all of you here this morning. This morning, we are sharing the ongoing story of more than 16 years of collaboration by districts in the heart of America, from the Midwestern Plains, from both coasts in the US, districts 4170 and 4140 in the heart of Mexico. Rainer John, president of FIRMAX, will provide an update on opportunities for club-to-club partnerships to commemorate Mexico's 100th anniversary in Rotary International on April 1st. We will have presentations from the 5 clubs on their global grant proposals, the reason for today's project fair. And if you have any questions or comments during any part of the program this morning, please place them in the chat. In 2004, a partnership between Districts 4170 in the heart of America and District 6560 in the heart of America began with a water tank. From that simple gesture of providing clean water for students, the Heart2Heart collaboration was grown and born. It has now come to encompass more than 70 humanitarian and global grants, totaling over $5 million and assisting hundreds of individuals in Mexico. In 2017, Heart2Heart in Mexico expanded to include District 4140. Through Heart2Heart, hospitals have medical equipment to treat low-income patients. Young adults have received new lives with kidney transplants. Young children have had cleft. Students have learned study skills. Teachers have participated in professional development, and 50 families now have safe, earthquake-proof homes. Schools have bathrooms for clean waters, and young leaders have trained as peace builders. As we move forward, an added emphasis is on finding more partners, regardless of the location, people who want to make a difference. Heart2Heart projects serve people in need and are well-designed and sustainable. The programs provide the perfect opportunity for neighbors to collaborate and an easy way for clubs and districts to put the international into Rotary International. We ask districts to pool their funds, and by working with the Rotary Foundation, we multiply our contributions and increase our impact. And now, before we move into our program, I would like to introduce District Governor Jesus Calderon from District 4170 with a greeting from him. Thank you.
Muchas gracias, Heather.
Thank you very much, Heather. I'm sorry that I just stepped on you or interrupted you. I was very excited. It is very beautiful to have here 84 people gathered in this meeting. It is a very wonderful moment, not only for my district, but also for Heart to Heart. I would like to welcome the governor and to Heather. It is a big pleasure to have you here with us. So I send you a big hug and greetings to all the past presidents that are here, to the past peace governors that are here, to the future governors as well, and also especially to the organizing committee of Heart to Heart, as well as the Mexico team from the Rotary Foundation that is headed by David Carranza and followed by David Machan, our host, and then David Gonzalez. So it is said that if you look for abundance, you'll find it in gratitude. Also, it has been said that if gratitude, that gratitude is the biggest of the virtues. Today, the District 4170 thanks Heart to Heart for its kindness, its time, and dedication, support, in order to generate grants and service projects or social projects, as well as to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Rotary International in Mexico with its new program 100 to 100. I would like to share with you the website and also its mission. Its mission says to improve the medical care in the United States and in the world. And it also has a very beautiful vision that says to imagine a world in which every people may have access to a healthy life, and that every community may have the possibility to make reality this imagination or these dreams. To imagine a world in which every person will have access to a healthy life and that every community may have the opportunity to make this imagination reality. So this is Heart to Heart. This is an organization that works passionately, that makes things happen. And what for? In order to generate or to create a healthier world. Today we're going to work in this project fair, the District 4170 and Heart to Heart. We will work united and as a team so that these projects become into grants, global grants that may have an impact into society by creating a healthier world, as its mission states. In this main, Rotary International will continue to promote the ideal of service, will continue helping the vulnerable people, the people that is unprotected, the people that is in need. Rotaries will continue to improve and to change lives and also to generate better human beings. Heart to Heart friends. Rotary International open opportunities. So let's keep on doing this. By opening opportunities, I wish you a big success in this meeting, in this project fair. And I'll ask God to bless you today and forever. A big hug, and I will declare inaugurated or open this project fair with a little bell tone. So thank you very much. Be welcome and let's work arduously. A big applause for everybody.
Thank you so much, Governor. Uh, Now, we'll start our program. We invite our friend and president from Purmex, Rainer Jan. Rainer, please.
Thank you very much for the invitation. Thank you all for taking your time. My name is Rainer Jan. I'm a member of the Rotary Club Frank Devlin International. I'm also the president of Formex, the United Mexican Rotary Fund, which is active and helps all member clubs in Mexico in all 7 districts. As such, we have started with Heart2Heart, with Ron and with Roger Sims 2 years ago, this Project 100 to celebrate 100 years Rotary in Mexico. We have teams. I'm the coordinator in Mexico. We have 7 teams in the 7 districts, plus Formex team, etc. These are projects up to $10,000, each project between at least 1 Mexican Rotary Club and 1 US club, in order to foster a friendship between Mexico Rotary and Mexico and US Rotary members and the communities. We have received an incredible more than 400 proposals for this project. 200 were pre-selected by Heart2Heart in the United States. We are working on that. We are a bit slow given the situation that we are facing. We have been working proactively on 30 clubs for which funding more or less has been achieved. And we're basically daily on this project. What we are doing now, we are, in addition, we will do, and now I just started as president of Formex, we will use more resources in our fund, our non-profit fund, basically doing online sessions nationally in Mexico and binationally with Heart2Heart in the US to try to expand the funding options. We will have a call in a few days in Mexico City, and I'm sure that also about 80 to 100 people will participate. We are working with people outside of Rotary at this point who have extensive fundraising experience in Mexico. For example, the former president of United Way, Mexico, but there are also others. So we also started to work with clubs who do not have a project in Program 100, but to help on funding. My club is one of those. So the idea is, if there's a project $1,000, to see if we can get from Mexico not only 1,000, which was the original commitment, but maybe 3,000 or 4,000, and find 1 or 2 clubs in the United States to help us. Of course, the club summaries are on your website of zones 30, 31. There is a part where it says Program 100, and so we will hopefully see each other more often in the coming months. Also, when it comes to that, Rotary Foundation is not involved given the project size. So basically, Formex took over the role as the treasury and treasury functions, and we are, of course, highly regulated in Mexico. So there is all the transparency that's possible for all of these projects. Again, thank you very much for the invitation. In case of any questions, please let me know.
Your mic, Heather. Your mic is closed, Heather.
You're muted, Heather. You're muted, Heather.
Let me try that again. So thank you, Rainer. What a wonderful opportunity for clubs to participate in a club-to-club project. If US clubs are interested, please contact our district Heart2Heart lead advisory members. Look on the RI Zones 3031 website for a more complete description. Our goal is to match 100 clubs with 100 clubs by the end of February, so that we are in place by the time the anniversary starts on April 1st. And now we shift from club to global grants. These These grants are possible because of the generosity of Rotarians donating to the Rotary Foundation. All of these projects, all of this good work is what we have given as individuals to make sure that our projects can go forward. Those of us who have traveled to Mexico know that the clubs and districts are good stewards of our funds. We have met the recipients and we know that they benefit greatly from the projects and humanitarian work that have been put into place. Heart2Heart is changing lives. As you listen to the grant proposals today, consider the following grant requirements: the community needs assessment, the area of focus, the resources required, the sources of funding, the numbers of people who will benefit from the projects, and finally, the sustainability of the project. David McShane will now introduce each of the club representatives and ask them to tell us about their global grant proposals. Following each presentation, we will have 5 minutes for questions. We would like to ask you that you put those into the chat. And if we are unable to get to your question today, we are making note of it and we will respond to you following the program. So David and the projects.
Thank you so much, Heather. Well, it's time to start.
David,
Yeah.
just one thing, important thing, to all of our friends from Heart2Heart, will you please write your name, your club and district, and a contact email in the chat. This is like the check-in list that we're going to have. And at the end, today, maybe tomorrow, we will send you, we will send all the presentations that we have today. But for doing that, we need your name, club and district, and a contact email. So please do that anytime we are here in the chat. Just that information. Thank you.
Thank you, Tocayo. I was going to say something like that. So let me start again. Please, I'm gonna put like our president from the Rotary Foundation tell us. You can put your name, please. You're gonna put your questions in the chat, and we're gonna try to answer every one of them. We only have 5 minutes, like Heather said, so don't worry. I'm gonna put my information for you can send me your questions to my email, and we'll try to respond. Well, we're gonna respond every question, and we're gonna try to do it in the next few days. So thank you so much. Now, I'd like to welcome from Rotary Club Arboledas, Sofia Andapia, who's gonna make his presentation. Sofia, please start. Sofia, maybe you have to unmute your...
¿Así? ¿Estoy bien?
Yes, sí.
Ok. Buenos días, gobernador.
Hello, good morning, Governor Jesus Tello, and everybody for your support. Friends from Heart2Heart, thank you for being here. I appreciate your time. And I hope this is the first of many times that I would like to present this project. Sanitation and hygiene training for elementary schools is a service project and also a love project that gives access to sanitation installations in terms of hygiene and eliminates the infection focus that will represent having bad condition toilets in terms of the town of Teloyucan that is in the state of Mexico. Teloyucan is a town that is located 31 miles away from Mexico City. We have done an evaluation in 15 schools of basic education. We selected 8 of them with 6,452 students and 249 teachers are direct beneficiaries. In this population, we have only 92 WCs, and only 60 of them are working, are in very bad conditions. One WC per every 98 girls, and one WC per 180 boys. And their conditions are actually not good. We can see the sinks, and we can see also long urinals, and on the lower part we have a WC. We took into account the area of focus of the existing equipment in order to change it for a new one. And also we took into account that the rooms of the schools have some spaces that would not allow to have the condition of the sanitary equipment and installations. Those are schools of 30 years old that considers a lowest quantity of students, and that is increasing. In the first column, we can see on the left-hand side, we have the description of the sanitary facilities. In gray, we have the existing installation, and in the following question, the new ones, the changes of them. The fourth one, we have the new equipment and the total of it. I told you that we had one WC for every 98 girls. And in our schema, under our project, we will have one WC for every 32 girls. So we used to have one WC for every 120 boys. And under our project, we'll have one WC for every 36 boys. So we'll change all the urinals, all the existing urinals, and we will add 3 of them, long ones, that will represent 4 urinary positions. And we'll have now much more positions by giving us 1 urinal for every 59 boys. The sinks will be changed, all of them, 45 pieces, individual pieces, and a long sink. This will give us a total of 141 positions for the sinks. Within our assessment, we found one sink for each 132 girls and boys, students, I mean. Under our scheme is gonna be one sink for every 46 boys. So we took out all the facilities to the different aisles, and this represents different benefits. It will give us more space for WCs, and it will make the children to have direct access to hand hygiene, especially for this pandemic time. Next. Sustainability will be achieved by providing 249 teachers training for 5 hours per school from 8 to 10 weeks, and will make that the students that will be part of this training will also be part of the continuous education, not only at the school, but also at home. Oh, everybody, directors of all the members of parents, the association of parents, they are all aware of the responsibilities for this project. Next one, please. Our budget. On the left-hand side, you can see the sanitary equipment that is followed up by the total of the number of units, and that will be changed, and its budget. We can see that we have 190 with the budget of $56 million thousand dollars, and it will give a total of $74,105. Next one, please. Funding. The Rotary Club of Arboledas has the commitment to provide $3,105. The FDD 4170, $2,000. The Rotary Foundation, $2,000. The Heart2Heart Funding Fund, $33,500. In order to have a total of the aforementioned budget. Heart2Heart friends, please gather and join our project, as together we'll be able to face real community problems. Together we'll be able to improve the life conditions of 6,000 children and many parents of family as well. We can see these children as a community that will not only secure sustainability, but also they will have an impact in their community. So I can make sure that they will be the next Rotaries that will be in the service projects, the coming Rotaries that will be in Rotary clubs to foster and to promote community. They will facilitate love and will give love. They will have dignity and they will defend it for the rest of their lives. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sophia. Now we start the questions. So please, if you be so kind to only put your questions in the chat, and we will try to answer each and every one of them. Remember, we have only 5 minutes.
So while everybody's writing a question, the question was, does these projects need funding? Yes, all these projects need funding. What they're showing you is what funding the club will give. You saw that it was $33.5K in DDF that's needed. So we got to go to our districts and add for DDF. If you put in cash from your club, it will not be matched in any way now. So DDF is king whenever we're talking about these projects, but we will not turn down.
David, ¿me puedes traducir, por favor?
David, could you please translate what he just said?
Well, sorry, maybe some of you we don't give the chance to put attention in the part how you put it in English. So we're gonna do that in a moment. Our Big Rich is answering one of the questions. So let us have a minute, Sophia, and we will back to you.
David, so everyone understands, none of these projects are underway. Is that correct?
Proposed.
They're all proposed, and we are stressing from the plain as we can. If you have other questions about cash, Rotary is not matching cash anymore, so you can still donate, but we need to figure out the process.
We have 2 additional questions. How will they ensure that this project is maintained, the bathroom facilities, and will the work need to be completed by locally sourced businesses?
I can answer that from what she said. She said that they are going to teach 249 teachers for 5 hours per school for 8 to 10 weeks. And then there'll have to be some follow-ups, surveys, let's say 6 months out and then 1 year out when we do the final report. So they have to know that we have to do this, David. Okay, but the sustainability factor is there.
I would answer the question about how we are sure the all completed. Um, Reiner will be a big part of that. So will the District 4170. But then those of us that travel to Mexico on the Heart2Heart pilgrimage will see the work that has been done and the work that is being done.
And I'd like to add, we have 16 years of history of doing it. So we have projects that have been done over 70, as Heather mentioned, and all of those have a record, a solid record of the money is being managed correctly. But trust me, Big Rich wouldn't let it go if the money wasn't handled correctly.
Okay, and a secondary thing from the sustainability is that all the schools are participating with parents and with the directors of schools. So they are giving all kind of maintenance to the new equipment, and they are compromising to fulfill the, well, to cover the cost of maintenance, at least for the first 3 to 5 years. So that's a secondary part of the sustainability, but also very important.
Another question, are we looking at DDF for the year 21-22? And yes, that is correct. And the number of schools that this will impact, 30 some, is that correct?
8.
8.
8, sorry.
8 schools, 6,000, over 6,000 children.
We have to remember this school were designed. The newest one is 30 years old, so they have the number of students grow every year. So you're gonna help not only on these 6,000 kids every year. They're gonna be, I don't know, maybe 100 every year. Between we will do this global grant and we will be finished. So to be honest, it's a very great effort, and we hope you like it. Well, our time is up. So if you let me, I'm gonna put my data in the chat. So if you have any other question, please send it to me and we answer with the club. Thank you so much, Sofia and Rotary Club Arboledas.
Gracias. Gracias. Gracias.
Give me just 1 second, please. I remind you, please close your microphones during the presentation, and we're gonna have, we now, we'd like to welcome from Rotary Club Bellavista, Tizapan, our friend Horacio Aguilera, who's gonna present the project. Horacio, please unmute and start with your project.
Good morning, everybody. I'm gonna present this project in English, if I may. My name is Horacio Aguilera. As I said, I'm a member of the Rotary Club Bellavista, and our project is the greenhouse tunnels. Please go to the next slide. Well, real quick about the project, I would like to introduce generally what we would like to do. The project is about building greenhouse tunnels to grow fruits and legumes in Chapantongo, Hidalgo, Mexico. And what we would like to do is to leverage our like knowledge and the municipal government in order to not only build the tunnels, but also provide training and support to the people, to the local inhabitants of the community, in order for them to be able to operate the tunnel and to create a long-lasting effect in the economy. This training will not only be in terms of obviously all the everything that relates to the operating and all the how to harvest the crops and so on, but also to manage the entire value chain and to show them how to transport and commercialize the fruits and legumes. We will impact around we would like to impact 6 families per tunnel, and families are more or less 5 or 6, they have 5 or 6 members. So it would be around 30 members, it might be much more because families in the rural areas of Mexico are bigger, but it is a conservative approach that we're taking. We would impact then 30 families per tunnel, and the goal, if we manage to get all the funding needed, we would like to do 10 tunnels. So we would impact directly 300 people and indirectly up to like the whole community. Go to the next, could be even 12,000 persons, because everybody would be part of the whole community, not only these families, but the whole community would be part of it. Getting cheaper fruits and legumes, selling it, and so on. Helping the transport, so on. So our area of focus is the economic and community development. As I said before, the goal is to create sustainable job sources, making a long-lasting positive impact, and also, which I think it's something I take to heart, bringing or avoiding that people need to migrate illegally to the US and risk and have to deal with these risks that might be even deadly of the whole process of moving illegally. And we would also what is important for us is to show people that it's possible for them to have jobs in their community, and they don't have to, it's not necessary for them to move abroad and to risk their lives. And also we want these people that they can come back, and then they will find a job and they will find opportunities back home. The rationale of the whole tunnel is that to have a greenhouse tunnel, will allow the farmers to harvest all year round. That's the rationale. That's what they're good for, and also to allow them to control the temperature, which will obviously more than double the fruit production. This is a case study, for instance, that we did with strawberries. It's not necessarily going to be strawberries, but this is a case study, as I said before. And in this case study, we saw that a greenhouse tunnel can produce one ton strawberries. Greenhouse tunnel operated by by 6 families with 5 members, more or less, per family.
Water source,
Next
Horacio, water source.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the water source, actually, this I'm going to explain it right now. The projects there's abundant water sources in the region, and the project will use a hydroponic system. Thus, the water will not only help to feed the crops and so on, but also to irrigate feed crops like for animals and so on, for stock. For cattle. Sorry. Yeah, and sustainability. This is a very sustainable project because what we could do is, what we want to do is to teach and accompany these families throughout the process, because this is actually what we think this is important about this project. This is not about the greenhouse tunnels. It's about teaching and helping people realize that they can do more than just they're able and capable of thinking ahead and creating a business and creating something sustainable at home. They don't need to go and search jobs elsewhere. They can do it at home. There's enough land, there's enough human capital, and there's enough water resources to do something and to create something. So we want to teach people how to do it, and that's the tunnels are merely a tool
Horacio, did
this.
you say your area of focus?
Yes, definitely. It's community development, community and economic development. Exactly.
Horacio, how
Economic
long
and
will
community
these
development.
last, the material?
This is very strong material. I mean, they're made out of steel and plastic, so they should be run at least for 10 years. It takes only one, and they're very quick to build. Sorry,
that's all right. There's an
go ahead.
additional question about the use of pesticides and herbicides. Is that part of the process?
Yeah, that's we thought we have very well thought. This project is very well thought. What we want to do is to avoid this by a part of one part of these tunnels. We will plants that are natural herbicides that will avoid the use of pesticides. Natural pesticides, sorry, that will avoid the use of artificial pesticides. There's some plants that have these qualities, and we want to destinate one part of the greenhouse tunnels to plant these plants.
Horacio, has this been tried before elsewhere?
Yeah, it has been tried before in Oaxaca. The thing is, it worked perfectly. The thing is, this project we think that we can leverage the muscle of Rotary to make it bigger. In Oaxaca was smaller, and it worked. But we want to make this a project that reaching out to you to have a bigger impact. We search for big impact and for more people to benefit from it. Been done before. It's a proven concept. It's a proven technique. The greenhouse tunnels, they work. Oh, sorry.
I would like to answer one question. The weather in Hidalgo is a semi-desertic weather, and because of history, Hidalgo Hidalgo is very rich in underwater springs. So you find in Hidalgo, you find water almost everywhere below the earth. So and the weather it has a very the seasons of the year are really marked. So you have spring, summer, autumn, and winter. It's not extreme.
I have a question.
Exactly. That's
At a road project?
It was. It's
And when was it? And is it still functioning?
The thing is, it was from the owner, the guy, the person that is supporting this project was a Rotary member. But then he decided to do this on his own. He built his own. He created his own foundation. But he collaborates still very strongly with Rotary. We know him, and he has provided us some guidance. He's a friend of our club, but he's not a Rotarian anymore. He decided to go on his own, but we know that we have the experience, and that's what we're leveraging his experience as well to do this project. But he's not a Rotarian anymore, but he used to be one. Yeah.
All right, Horacio, give us the budget.
All right, let's go ahead. Next slide. Exactly, the budget. This is the budget. This is generally no. It's the breakdown of the costs for 1 tunnel and 10 tunnels. As you might be able to see, there's no cost for the labor for the workforce, because the is so involved in this project that they say, we're gonna, if you help us out doing this, we're gonna work for free. Basically, we're gonna do it ourselves, because they know we can provide the tools, but we want you to be involved. And if we're gonna make this, you have to be part of it as well. We don't want to be just everything and no one is involved, because if they're involved and they have to build themselves, they own this. And this is the funding. We're also completely, we will also be part of this, and we're also compromised. We show our compromise to the project. Our club is willing to give $4,000, and the Rotary Foundation for a grand total of $56,100.
Thank you so much. Well, like you see, we start a little before with the section of the questions. We still have 2 minutes. So if we have an additional question, please ask it now. Remember, we're gonna, if you don't answer any question in this moment in this virtual meeting, send me an email and we answer it. So Big Rich.
Well, the only thing that I see is that he said that these structures would last 10 years. I know the plastic will not last 10 years. So how expensive it is to replace the plastic? I tried to find it on the budget to see that. If these folks have to replace the plastic every couple of years, which they will, how expensive is that?
Yeah, the structure is very sturdy, but indeed the plastic at some point will not be will
need to be replaced.
Hold the project as it should. So see, it might be replaced. So I can come back to you with this, but this is not a major cost driver. I mean, this is not the plastic is not the major cost driver. So it shouldn't be. They should be able once the project is running to forecast. This is not.
It's not on your budget though.
Yeah. We will.
The budget does not include plastic.
Horacio, I think you should include it in the budget, just to make it not expensive.
Definitely,
it's not expensive. It's less than 10% of the cost.
Definitely, yep, that's true. Perfect. Any other questions?
If we have any other questions, we have 10 seconds more. Okay, so thank you so much, Horacio. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Friends, thank you for all the questions.
There's one question about facilities. Can these facilities be visited next year? Yes, of course. You can gladly visit them.
The plan would be to have, I mean, it doesn't take long to build one tunnel. It takes around 1.5 months. So we would, the plan would be to start, if possible, in July, and then it would take the whole project is thought to be done in 1 year. So definitely it should be done. I mean, if we get everything in place, they would be ready by next year for sure.
If we come in November, could we go there?
Good question. How far is this
might be,
project?
I mean, the thing is, we can build several. No, it's from Mexico City.
Yeah,
it's around two hours from Mexico. It's not far.
It's a very beautiful place, and there's a lot of water. I mean, there's water everywhere. It's a beautiful place. You're gonna love it.
Okay, we have to start the next presentation, please. I remember we are in timeline. Thank you so much, Horacio.
Thank you.
Now, I'd like to welcome from Rotary Club Bosque Real, our friend Lulu Hernandez. I'm going to present the...
Hola, muchísimas gracias.
Oh, thank you very much, David. Good morning, everyone. I hope you are very good this morning. It's a great pleasure and honor for me to introduce this Rotary Club Bosque Real's project. It is called Medical Clinic Equipment for detection and treatment of neurological conditions for children, adults. Next one, please. This project is developed within the Whiskey Lucan community. We plan to address people with low economic resources. These people have no access to these neurological studies and they have no venting support either. I am a doctor, a pediatrician, and I have had the opportunity to see how patients, children mainly, who need these studies, and if they have access to them, then their health condition can improve quickly and easily. In this specific case, we have seen that in Whiskey Lucan, there are newborns and children who have not had access to these studies. Thus, their response before treatment, and sometimes they don't even have treatment, but their response is poor, and this is sad. Just as an example of the conditions that we want to treat is epilepsy. If epilepsy is not detected since the baby is born or since the kid is small, these children might end up having development issues, growth issues. They have issues when learning how to speak. And when they are teenagers and adults, they can have depression, they can become criminals, and they can even kill themselves. That's why this is very important. Next one, please. Our focus areas, as I was just saying, is helping children with these conditions and epilepsy. Epilepsy, not only as seizures that we all know about, but epilepsy as this brain activity that's not well regulated. So the only objective way to understand if there is control on that electric activity in the brain is doing these studies. All these potential studies support us to know how the brain is working, how the muscle is, how the nervous system is, etc. So by carrying out these studies as doctors, we will be able to establish different diagnoses, forecasts, and they guide us. They allow us to know what treatment to provide. I mean, it's both for the drugs treatment and rehab treatment. Some of these patients end up having lung conditions, and that's why they truly need the ventilatory services that I was mentioning at the beginning. Next slide, please. Talking about the project sustainability. In Whiskey Lucan, we already have health infrastructure. We have a health facility and we have doctors and specialists who can provide the attention desired. So we already have we can and I want to say happily that today we started a training course in neurophysiology for our specialists who are working in the rehab area. We are also what we call a school center. So we aim to doctors and students, from 80 to 100 students every year. Whiskey Lucan has high influence because it doesn't only help people from Whiskey Lucan, but also from the municipality. That is, we hope to provide this benefit to around 2,000 people per year. And with that, we will be able to change their future. We want to give them a brighter future. Next one, please. As you get to see on this screen, we need to buy this equipment. $116,000 is what we need. This in order to buy one electroencephalography equipment. Actually, you get to see the equipment on the screen, and we also need 6 oxygen concentrators. Next one, David, please. Okay. The investment amount is $116,000. This is from the 4170 district, $2,000. And we need support
teaching institution, teaching 80 to 100 students per year. So that's going to be part of your sustainability aspect. But I did not, how much prevalence there. She did talk about prevalence in neuromuscular disorders there for epilepsy. But Maria, maybe you can talk about, how much epilepsy is present there per capita, and then how, and is it not being treated now in this area?
Sí, muchas gracias por la pregunta. Nosotros hemos realizado estudios y es algo muy preocupante, porque de nuestros pacientes que ya cuentan con el diagnóstico de epilepsia, el 80% no tienen estudios y solamente se les está dando seguimiento clínico, lo cual no es lo adecuado. En cuanto a cuántos pacientes, nosotros en el año 2019 dimos 97,500 servicios y se calcula que el 60% de los pacientes tienen alguna condición neurológica asociada. Y de estos 60% de pacientes, nosotros tenemos un porcentaje, si es una lesión cerebral severa, del 70 al 80% cuentan con una condición de epilepsia. Si es una condición moderada, más o menos de un 40 a un 50% van a tener una condición de epilepsia. Entonces sí es muy alta y aparte en México ya hay estudios que marcan que pacientes que han tenido conatos de suicidio, que han tenido problemas conductuales, hasta delincuencia, pues tienen alteraciones en la función cerebral que nunca se detectaron, ¿no? Entonces sí es como un área de intervención muy importante. Además de que Huixquilucan tiene también una presencia muy importante de condiciones neurodegenerativas como esclerosis múltiple, esclerosis lateral amiotrófica, y son pacientes que requieren estudios de forma continua para ver el daño en visual, auditivo, obviamente en su movimiento y con respecto a la etapa, aún así bien qué van a requerir para una etapa posterior de su evolución. Y tenemos muchos niños que es una zona de mucho embarazo adolescente. Ahorita en 2 años hay una clínica materna dentro del complejo y han nacido 800 niños. El 70% será por problemas auditivos o visuales y poderles ayudar en su desarrollo y posiblemente cursen también con problemas de aprendizaje. Entonces sí es muy alta la necesidad de poder realizarles un estudio integral. Sí, claro.
Dr. Maria, is this all in a community assessment tool from Rotary? Did you put all this information in the community assessment?
Sí, sí, en la evaluación de la comunidad ya van todos estos datos. Sí.
Very good. Another good question that Rick asked, is the equipment being bought in Mexico or out of the country?
Tenemos proveedores en México. Lo importan de Estados Unidos, pero tenemos distribuidores aquí en México. En México no se producen ninguno de los dos equipos.
Can you use used equipment from the United States? Or does it have to be new? ¿Se puede usar usada el equipo o tiene que ser nueva?
El equipo en general es un equipo de alta precisión. Si fuera un equipo usado en muy buenas condiciones, sí se puede utilizar. De alta precisión.
I'd like to say something. This place, Whiskey Lucan, is exactly in the middle from Mexico City and Toluca. As you remember, Mexico City is in a valley, and Toluca is another valley. To go from Mexico City to Toluca or vice versa, you need to climb the mountains and then go down. This is right in because people go from one city to another, and getting transportation from Mexico City to Toluca and from Toluca to Mexico City is really, it's not hard, but it's too long because it's the mountains. We have a highway, but this place is like in the back part. It's where there is no highway. So they are communities which are placed really in the mountains, like 3,000 meters above sea level. So it's a very special community. And the place that we have there is administered by a state by a state institution that is called DIF. And when you see the place, it's amazing because they have invested for years and years. And if we supply this equipment, you will see a real first world facility when you come in. It's really nice. It's like ounce to get a pound there. It's amazing. The place itself, it's in really good conditions. The maintenance that they give, it's really nice. The place is really nice, and it's a multitask facility. They have a hospital. They have a place to take care of abused kids. So it's really nice. It's a huge place with a lot of facilities, and they only need this equipment to round up the services that they give to that community, which is really big.
Since this is highly rated equipment, how often does it need to be checked, and then how long will it last before you need to buy new equipment?
El equipo se otorga mantenimiento anual, preventivo, el cual ya está considerado que corra a cargo del DIF, y en la duración de vida media del equipo lo garantizan por 10 años mínimo. Me dicen que hay equipos que están funcionando después de 10 años, pero ellos se comprometen a 10 años, y la empresa con la que cotizamos igualmente se compromete a hacernos las actualizaciones de los software cada que se requiera para que esté funcionando el equipo.
Okay. Any more questions?
Me gustaría responder una de las preguntas. Dicen que si hay medio en telemedicina, no, el servicio de... nosotros en este momento de pandemia estamos llevando telemedicina, pero la atención pues es presencial de manera regular, y sí contamos con neuropediatra y neurólogo.
Thank you so much, Lulu, and congratulations for the project.
Gracias.
We're going to pass to the next project. Thank you so much for your question. Remember, we're going to put the data. We're going to try to answer any more questions you have. So now I ask you to please welcome from the Rotary Club Guajimalpa, our friend Antonio Pipoli. Antonio, please make your presentation.
Muchas gracias, David. Muchas gracias a todos por su presencia.
Thank you very much, David, and everybody for being here. The project of the Rotary Club is to provide training for the care of dependent people.
¿De qué se trata el proyecto?
What is this project about? The community of Coajimalpa, Morelos, it is located also in Mexico City. It is one out of the 16 municipalities in Mexico City. We have done a needs study in which we have detected how important is the presence of elders. 40 out of every 100 people are elders, and the average growth of this population is 50 plus other groups that also have dependency problems. We're calculating around 11,000 people that require special care because of whether their illness, their age, any kind of disability that is linked to physical, mental, or intellectual problems and autonomy that may require a sort of support in order to be able to develop their daily activities. Within these activities that are required support are to be able to eat, having bathing support, to walk, to dress up, to prepare their own food, and also to move from one place to another. Currently, there is no training itself in Coajimalpa, in this community, I mean, that provide instructions to the caregivers and that also may interact within a family environment. Next slide, please. The area of focus. And the part that is related with the family economy, not only for dependent people, but also for the caregivers and the instructors, and for the development of the community welfare. We're gonna train with your support. I hope that you see it well. We're gonna train 40 people in the Coajimalpa community for the care of the dependent people and these activities that I mentioned before. Normally, this program that is already designed and that is well proved in the community means that every caregiver will be able to work with around 80 people, 80 dependent people, and to have a very important impact as these dependent people, not all of them, but most of them are low income people. So any increasement, any support that is given is going to be impacting 250 families from these 80 dependent people. And at the same time, we are allowing that those people that achieve to have a diploma at the end of the training, the average of them will increase their income around 73%. Currently, a person that is taking care of another person in Coajimalpa, it is within the average range of 220 US dollars per month. And with this, we'll have an increase of 380 per month. That obviously is going to have an important impact due to the economy of this family and the social strata or the social class in which they're living. Our purpose is to have 40 additional families that are going to improve their conditions by the people that has already been trained. The next one, please. To us, it is highly important the sustainability of the project. Therefore, and basically, training within a program that has been structured by a very professional group that has had already experience on this and that are graduates from different generations. Thanks to our support, we were able to have 20 graduates, but we expect to have 40 next year and in an exponential basis for the following years. There are some practice classes and some on-site classes, and at this moment, we have already decided to do it virtually. So in the training, we comprehend some aspects related to psychology, for example, for dependent people, human rights, care for dependent people, legal responsibility, thanatology, communication with dependent people, and occupational therapy as well. And this program will be managed or administered by a patronate that has already 35 years working in the Coajimalpa community that is called Patronato Coajimalpa YAP. That is already in our community. It is a interdisciplinary professional team that is composed by a family guide, which is very important because the person is going to be within the family doing their work, geriatricians, a nurse as well, communicologists or community managers, and also a therapeutic yoga trainer. And the diploma is certifying everybody after they finished these studies by the Incarnate World University Center. This is the name of the university or the center. That is the Incarnate World that is located in San Antonio, Texas. And here in Mexico City, we have different campuses from this university. So they are gonna be surveilling that the people that are receiving the diploma study are gonna be certified by them in order to have an academic value out of it. So in this manner, initially, what we are offering for and what we are looking for is a professional training of 105 hours of theoretical and practical instruction that will start in July 2021 to June 2022 for 40 caregivers who are going to be selected from this community and will benefit 80 dependent people and indirectly, and I'll say actually directly, 150 family members, whether they are children from elders or parents from dependent people, because we are not only talking about elders, also about youngsters that have disability problems. So in order to improve the economy of these 40 families from the people that is going to be trained. The training cost is $31,000 and the materials $5,000. So we're talking around a total cost of $36,000 this year. So in this manner, our proposal is that our Rotary Club in Coajimalpa is committed to offer $3,000 of contribution. We are expecting, thanks to the achievements that we want to do with this community, that actually needs a better attention. There there is better quantity of elders and higher quantity of nurses and of chronic diseases and illnesses. And there is a lot of people that are not receiving care and that are relegated in their families, and that this will have an impact because they are all working together in this populational group. So we are expecting from the district the support of from the DD another 2,000, and also from your side, it would be, if you would like to provide this support, it would be $14,500. So we will be needing $36,000 with an initial impact of 500 people, and we are considering that the replicability of the scheme towards other municipalities in Mexico City and outside of Mexico City could be doubled or even tripled. So basically, this is the concept of the project, of the training project that we already have. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you. The first
Thank you very
question
much.
we have is wondering how many caregivers you have for each dependent. I said backwards. How many dependents for each caregiver?
Son dos personas
So we
dependientes.
have 2 dependents for each caregiver. And obviously they will have an impact for the families of the caregivers as well as for the dependent people families that are receiving this professional care.
Any other questions?
Yeah, Big Rich.
I don't see any more questions, but I would imagine the sustainability is the training of the caregivers. Now,
Correct.
how does that, and so this funds for 1 year. How does the funding continue, or is this a 1-year project only?
El objetivo es
The objective of the program is to train caregivers and instructors that will be leaders for other groups. And within the 40 caregivers that are included in this program, we would like to make a leader group so that they can replicate under the same scheme that was managed with the university, with the Incarnate World University Center, and with the program, so that they achieve to replicate this information and this training program in other delegations or municipalities of Mexico City or even outside Mexico City. So that's why we consider very important to have one group of leaders within the first generation that have already taken this course and that has the leadership capacity and to follow the same academic scheme so that they're able to replicate. So if right now we have 80 dependents, we can go from 40 caregivers to 80 caregivers in next year, not only in Mexico City and not only in Coajimalpa, but in other communities. And it is basic to us to integrate within the team trained caregivers with leadership capacities in order to build up interdisciplinary groups in other communities as well. And this is also considered in the academic program.
So if I understand you correctly, these caregivers will go out into the community and teach others. How will you quantify that, or how will you be able to report on that as Rotary would like for you to, as part of the sustainability factor, to report on how this is progressing?
En primer lugar, porque nosotros vamos
First
a
of all,
decirle a
because
Rotary
we are going to tell Rotary from the different caregivers which of them are having an additional instruction course in order to be leaders and replicators, because not all of the 40 caregivers that are going to be trained are going to be also part of the replicability program. Actually, there is a group, a selected group. We have calculated around 5 of them that will need to be replicators as a professional characteristic. And the rest of them normally is people that has basic education, elementary education, and that obviously this is going to have a high impact on the families of the dependent families. And we expect that within the 40 caregivers group, we are determining approximately a minimum of five of them. We are going to be receiving another course in order to be to integrate in the following year not only a group of 40 caregivers, but maybe we can extend this course to other municipalities. And just to have an idea, maybe not only to have 80 dependents and 40 caregivers, but 80 caregivers and the double of dependent people being taken care. So the impact will be doubled. In order to be replicator, they need to take a second course.
Antonio, would you please include into your presentation a chart with a projection of the number of beneficiaries in both sides, the caregivers and the families. In that way, our friends from Heart to Heart and also the Rotary Foundation will understand your numbers better. All right?
Very important to me is that
En realidad, este proyecto.
Go ahead.
Sí, dime. No, este proyecto.
Actually, this project basically started with the patronate team and with the professional team. We have estimated a minimum number. If we have right now 40 caregivers, the following year we want to have 80 caregivers or even more. And this is actually very important because we are not going to have an impact in the community if we don't have this expansion due to the replicability.
Groom's question to be answered. What type of commitment do the caregivers make in return for the training? And how many years does that include?
And how will you fund it for years to come if we're funding the initial one?
We're giving it. We have already had other 2 promotions that was provided by the patronet in Guajimalpa. Actually, this community already knows and are in the best disposal in order to sign an agreement with us that they, first of all, need to surveil the academic part. As an institution, they need to and that are receiving a diploma had the actually capacity to receive this diploma. Now, how we're going to be able to do it? In these previous courses, we have achieved that in the patronate, in the patronate before they used to do all the managerial activities, and actually this total of support that they already had. It is not quantified in my presentation, but this means a direct support of the patronate within the project. But apart from this, there are different manners, and they have companies within the community that have been providing support to the patronate as well. And apart from this, we're also considering that the sustainability of this project is also given from an economic point of view, because there is a lot of families that would like to make this course in order to improve their economic condition and family well-being condition. So there is a support, an economic support from the patronate, and it is not costing 100% of the training, because they're also giving us a discount, and also there is another funding source that could be looked for as this one, but we already have some funding. The patronate is providing facilities, is paying a part of the training, and also we're paying another part of the training, and we already have this quantified.
Okay.
As our funding and the funding from the patronate.
All right. We will work with Antonio and David Mashine to send you the answers in numbers, okay? And let's go on with the next presentation, David.
Thank you so much. Congratulations, Antonio. So, we have our next presentation. And for that, I'd like to welcome from Rotary Club Jalostoc, our friend Israel Hernandez. Please, Israel, give us your presentation.
Hola, muy
Hello, good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. First of all, I hope you're not too tired. I'm going to present from the Rotary Club Charlostock. I am Israel Hernandez, and I'm going to talk about a cleft lip and palate clinic. We know there are some clinics that already have a similar project or some other Rotary clubs with a project, but we still want to do this and be a big difference for everyone. Just as a background, cleft lip and palate is 1 per 150 living children who are born. In Mexico, we have 4,000 children who are born with cleft lip and palate. In the state of Mexico, the average is 360 or 370 children a year. This is one child who is born with this condition every day in the state of Mexico. We want to have a pediatric dental clinic. I mean, we already have these dental clinics, and they're specifically for children. Why do we want to do this? You might know me already. I have participated in the Metepec project, in the project of Vallejo as well. So for 12 years, we have been working on this, and we really know the needs that all of these children have. So we want to have this clinic. Actually, can we go back to the previous slide, please? David, could we go back to the previous slide? We aim to do this in order to follow up and train psychologists and doctors and therapists who can help us with the follow-up of these children. We also want to train dentists who can help us and who could get trained in order to know how to assist these patients. This is a subspecialty that we do as odontologists. Not all odontologists deal with this condition. This condition starts when the baby is born, but we want to be part of that training for doctors. So our project aims to cover patients that go from 0 to 15 years old. The follow-up of these children is very complicated. It's not only having surgery, it's not only making sure they're okay physically speaking or aesthetically speaking, but there's an entire process to be followed for years. Next slide, please. Next one. What are we looking for? We aim to assist. Oh no, last, the previous one, please. Well, doesn't matter. That's part of our new reality with this COVID situation, right? I mean, these virtual Zoom meetings. Anyway, our project aims to address 30 to 40 patients a year. It's 10% of what we have in the state of Mexico. But actually, we would be offering 60 to 80 consultations per month. These are dental consultations, but we also want to do psychological consultations and others. We have had experience for 13 years. So, to be honest, we don't want to cover more than we can. We want to make sure that we're truly doing what we can. So, we aim to offer from 720 to 960 consultations per year. Just as a comment, let me tell you about my experience. The girl that you see on the bottom is my girl. She was born with a cleft lip and palate. She was born in your country, in Loma Linda University's hospital. I'm very glad because of what you did to her. I mean, I know how people in the USA work with these conditions. So these 13 years, actually, my girl just turned 13. So my dream during these 13 years has been to have something similar to what you have. I know having it is impossible, but to have at least something similar and to allow these children to live what my daughter lived in Loma Linda's hospital. As parents, you suffer because you see your children with this condition, but there the treatment was amazing. So this is a dream that we want to make true. I became a Rotary because of my daughter. Next one, please. Next one. So let's talk about our sustainability. I think David is more nervous than I am.
There you go.
There you go. Thank you. So the Halostock Rotary Club has been offering free surgeries for 14 years. We do these surgeries directly in the club and we work with Las Americas Hospital. Heart2Heart knows that hospital in Ecatepec. It's a hospital that supports us and they give us the surgery rooms for free. However, there's no follow-up. So when we implement this clinic, we want to have the proper equipment, but in addition to that, we truly want to have a dignifying treatment for these children. If you ever went to Metepec Hidalgo with the previous project, well, actually, I participated in that project and I truly love the people who supported, but we are trying to find the strengths and weaknesses of the already existing projects. If you went to that clinic, you know that we do the surgery in a common chair. I mean, that's okay for us as doctors, but that's not okay for children. You know, children who have this condition. Well, in Mexico, there's a lot of bullying. Probably there's bullying everywhere, but here I would say that bullying is even higher because of cultural issues. But the idea is to have them feeling comfortable. And as parents, we are concerned about that. Because of their language is also important. Language and lack of language can generate bullying for our patients. This is why we have spoken with Centro Cultural Morelos University in Ecatepec. In that university, people study psychology, and we ask them to support us. We want them to ask their students to support us in this project. So we think that that can work. I mean, the owners of this university in Ecatepec are members of the club. So we know for sure that this project can be a long-term project. And talking about the odontology aspects, I have called other doctors who work at schools because we have asked them to invite their schools to join. We actually want doctors to be trained in this regard when they study their major. So we also want to work together with the government to receive their support. That is a bit complicated topic in Mexico, as you might know. Unfortunately, here there are some ideological differences that go beyond. Well, actually, you know what I'm talking about. In this last election, you probably saw these ideological issues, but we do want the government to participate. However, we don't want them to be that involved because we feel that if it's their project, then we might end up losing the objective we have. Unfortunately, when the administration changes, new people arrive, and there's no follow up. So we don't want to work that much with them because of these issues either. Next one, please. What we want is buying units, as you get to see it on the screen. These are units for children. You were asking about where the equipment can be bought in the previous presentation. I mean, for me, it's okay if we buy it there and we receive it here. I don't care. I mean, we want to have this concept. We can buy it either here or there. We want to have equipment for 4 units. And we'd like to have more technology, dentally speaking. If there are dentists here, I think Bill Rich is a dentist, so he might know what I'm talking about. We aim to have current technology, multimedia equipment, language skills equipment, early stimulation equipment, and also equipment to call some parents who cannot come to us. Here, distances are to be taken into account. From Ecatepec to Toluca, you need to commute for a long time. Patients would have to come to Mexico City, and now we have the COVID situation. We are working with saliva as dentists. That's another issue. I mean, some COVID clinics are not working to offer support to these children. So here we would only be supporting children and not adults. We know that children can have COVID, but the risk is not that high as if we would be working with adults. Next one, please. I don't know if this was my mistake here, but we are asking for $38,000. The club would be giving 2,000. DDF 1,800. That's already something that we know we're going to have for sure. We're asking for $16,200. I think it's a proper amount. We are not asking for anything beyond a regular project, but we need this money because for us, this has been our project. We have been working on this project for 12 years, and we have had great results, honestly. However, we feel that this is the right time to do this. We have a lot of experience, so it's like continuing forward. This is why we are here. Talking about sustainability, we want or we know that we can have good results in 1 year, but it's not 1 year, it's a life project. We know that if we do this, this will be permanent. This will be forever. It's not that we want to give one result to one person. No, we want to go beyond. We've seen it. So we are not concerned in terms of sustainability, but we know that we need to work hard on it because we want to go forward and we want to reach the next level. So we are odontologists, we have the experience, we have been trained, but we're also parents. I mean, I am the father of a girl who suffered this condition. So that's why I'm here before you asking for your support. There are other cleft lip and palate projects in 4170, so we want to join those projects. We want to become stronger. It's not working in silos, but working all together. A clinic for cleft lip and palate would be great because right now, with what we have, we don't have enough capacity to support all children. So one more center would be great. It would truly help us and it would add up to what we already have. The idea is also centralizing the project for patients not to travel that far away. So I'm asking this from the bottom of my heart as a Rotary, as a friend, but also as a father and as a dental specialist. That's what I had for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chamo. Thank you so much, Israel. I think we have a lot of questions, Heather and Vic.
First of all, there's a question about where the clinic is to be located. And secondly, what is your area of focus? Choosing one area of focus, what would that be?
La clínica estaría ubicada en el
The
municipio.
clinic would be located in Ecatepec municipality. That's where my Rotary Club is from. The focus area is treatment and prevention of diseases, sorry.
Okay.
Israel, located at a hospital, you're saying?
No. La idea es
No.
adentro.
Well, the idea is to work within facilities of the university.
Sorry, I need clarity. So it would be adjacent to a school that you get your students from? I didn't quite understand that.
Sí,
Yes.
sí. O sea, los estudiantes.
Students would be students from that university. And they would be, let's say, practicing in these facilities.
And how is this supporting the other cleft and palate projects that we support?
Principalmente.
Well, as I was saying, the idea is centralizing the projects because of the distances. Some patients need to go to other places, and we're talking about long distances. So that's first point. I mean, having these clinics closer to the patients. Then we want to invite doctors who already work in other projects to support this project and vice versa. The idea is getting our doctors, bringing other doctors, but mainly is to centralize or decrease commuting time because the centers that we have are far away from one from the other.
One of the issues may be using telehealth. I have seen the projects
question
in Metapec. I've actually had the privilege of witnessing the surgeries. It is a phenomenal effort and will need continued services. But this should also be incorporated into the government healthcare system, and additional support for the parents and the children certainly is welcome. And this is a long-standing, more than 1 year commitment, and sustainability, obviously the need is there. However, government has got to put in some of the money, especially for oral health, which is oral surgery, because a lot of revisions, and some of these children never have teeth. So prosthetics are also needed, but it's a very hard, long commitment and carrying expense. The government's got to help because pediatricians have to.
Completamente.
Yes, we do consider that, and actually that's something we want to do. However, according to the experience that we have had, is that I mean, sometimes we have an administration from one political party and they offer help, but then the administration changes. I don't like any specific political party, but this current government has not supported us. The previous one did, but this one hasn't. This year we're going to have elections in Ecatepec. So after January 1st, probably we're going to have another person and another administration. And we do want to speak with that party because there are some political parties that do support. The current one, unfortunately, isn't, but some others might. So we truly consider to speak with the local government and the federal government. For us, that's key. I mean, even to channel patients. Right now, the political agenda is not focusing on these kind of projects. I mean, and they can say yes, but from now to December, they could dismiss the project, and that's what we don't want to happen. We want this to be a permanent Rotary project, and then we want the government to join us. I mean, we want them to participate, but we want to own the project, because that way, if there's an administration, that will not affect us.
All right. So, and David, let's continue with the program.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Israel. Thank you so much to all. I'd like to take a moment to say hi to all my friends in Heart2Heart. I'm not going to name it. We'll never end. And remind you to all we miss you in November. And to all our new friends from Heart2Heart, the clubs and districts that don't know us, we invite you to Mexico to come to see the projects being done. How your donations to the Rotary Foundation change lives in your neighbor country, Mexico. You can see how the money we do, all the projects that we do, really change lives and sometimes save lives. So that was our last project. So we are good. I think we're almost in time. So thank you, everybody. I'm going to send you my information once again. And I'd like to present one more time. It's my honor to our governor-elect, Heather Stowe.
Thank you. A special thank you to all of the clubs for your presentations today. And kudos to all who joined our virtual Heart2Heart project fair. Together, we are creating lasting change in our countries, in our communities, and in ourselves. We appreciate your efforts as we strengthen ongoing relationships and build new partnerships between the Heart of America and the Heart of Mexico. The district chair for District 4170 for scheduling our Zoom meeting and providing the interpretation services, to District Governor Jesus for his warm welcome, to Firmex President Rainer John for his update on 100 in 100 projects, and to my co-host, David McChain, for his assistance in planning today's meeting and sharing the MC duties with me. To review the projects we have heard about, please go to the Zones 3031 website and click on Heart2Heart under the News tab. The Heart2Heart leadership will be meeting soon, and we welcome all the recommendations from those of you who have participated in this call today. If you have additional questions, please contact David Carranza, David McChain, Ron Apoon, myself, or any of the other members of the Heart2Heart leadership team. We definitely want to know what your thoughts are, what your questions are. As we said earlier, if we did not get to your questions during this 2-hour time block, we will answer those at a time coming up very quickly. The pandemic canceled our travel plans this past November, but it has not canceled our desire to do good in the world. We hope that we will be able to reconnect in person later this year, and we invite all who are interested in traveling to Mexico to join us for our next Heart2Heart trip. Many years ago, when I was traveling in Lancaster, Ohio, to visit my sister, I saw billboards all over town that had photos of Rotarians, and next to those photos were written the words, "I joined Rotary for business and fellowship. I stayed to change the world." And that's exactly what we're doing as members of Heart2Heart. We are, and thank everyone who joined us today. And I'd like to turn this over to David Carranza, the ERFC from District 4170, to wrap this up with a few final words. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Heather. Thank you so much. You guys, I'll take a minute and just to want to thank you all for being here today. It was a wonderful project fair. It was one of the best I have seen. And I'd like to thank all of you guys, our dear friends from Heart2Heart. And we expect to have you here in November to visit all those as are people of action. We inspire. And all these projects are wonderful projects. We worked really hard, and I would like to thank David Machain, David Gonzalez, and the rest of the team of Global Grants because this project fair was prepared with so much care. And let's hope these 5 projects, we have no more projects, but I think the 5 projects that were presented today are worth it. And I'm pretty sure you're going to have them, and we're going to have them become real in the following months. Thank you so much again. Thank you, dear Governor Jesus Calderon. Please close this project for today, my friend.
Muchísimas gracias, David.
Thank you very, very much, David. Heather, it's a great honor to have you as the future governor. We're very glad to hear that. We know of your work, of your effort, of your love. We know how you love human beings. We know you want to transform and change lives. So thank you very, very much for leading this effort, for being our host today. I also want to thank David, our co-host, and I want to thank each and all of you from Heart2Heart. It is a great honor, a great pleasure to see so many loving people. We as Rotarians need to transform our lives first. And we see that you're happy, that you're smiling because we're doing something for the greater good. Paul Harris was saying that individual work generates changes, but collective work generates impact. And that's what we are aiming pandemic has truly affected Mexico. The day before yesterday, we had 1,800 people who died in that day. That's an amazing record. We are the 4th country of the world with the highest amount of deaths. So we have been affected, but this and we need to show our mission. Our mission is serving the community, and that's what we're doing today. I don't want to take any longer. I just want to say that from the bottom of my heart, thank you very, very much, because the outcomes and results will be seen every year. And every time we receive people from Heart2Heart, that's a party for us. It's a very special day. Today, we are seeing each other virtually, but I send you lots of hugs from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much for your support, for your work, for your love, for loving Mexico. Today, we need you more than ever because we have very serious issues. More than 12 million Mexicans are living under extreme poverty. But thanks to you, thanks to what you are doing, they're living better. I mean, and even if we change one life, then we can say that we are doing this and it's worth it. Let me close today's session by ringing this bell. God bless you today and always. Thank you very, very much, everyone. Hugs for everyone. Hugs to everyone. Thank you very much. God
Look forward
bless you.
to see
God
you.
bless you.